Hello, y'all. This is Jennifer with Women Loving Jesus, and today we're with Proverbs 4:13. Take firm hold of instruction, do not let go. Keep her, for she is your life. We have another verse that specifically has wisdom and describing wisdom and how we really need God's wisdom in our life. And when I was studying about this is just talking about when you're seeking wisdom. This is just the beginning of bringing it into your life. And what had happened is last night in my Bible reading, I was actually reading Corinthians. And Corinthians was talking about wisdom. And I thought this really describes some of what we've been mentioning in wisdom as we're reading Proverbs and studying Proverbs. And I went to 1 Corinthians 2, verses 12 through 14. What we have received is not the spirit of the world, but the Spirit who is from God, so that we may understand what God has freely given us. This is what we speak, not in words taught to us by human wisdom, but in words taught to us by the Spirit, explaining spiritual realities with spiritual taught words. The person without the Spirit does not accept the things that come from the Spirit of God, but considers them foolishness and cannot understand them because they are discerned only through the Spirit. You know, we've mentioned human wisdom several times. We've mentioned God's wisdom several times. But something that ties into this, not only do we want to grab a hold of God's wisdom, but we can only gain this wisdom through the Spirit. It cannot be just with our head knowledge only. And not only that, but if someone has not gained God's wisdom through the Spirit and you are following God's wisdom, it will automatically look foolish. We can break this down in several ways. Just mention that you think Jesus died and rose from the grave. And if they're not a Christian and they don't believe that, they're like, yeah, nobody died and rose from the grave. I don't believe that. That's just the first thing that you would encounter as a Christian. But then grow through and list any other kind of wisdom. One of the wisdoms that could probably be is to love your enemy. That is not worldly wisdom at all. Nobody will tell you to do that. No other religion will tell you that. God will tell you to do that. And love one another. Give grace, have forgiveness. Have hope. Believe God can do the impossible. Believe that God is a personal God that loves you, that He hasn't forgotten you, that He will be there with you. He'll never leave you or forsake you. Just some of these promises and some of these truths of the Bible will seem foolish to others. They'll even seem foolish to Christians if they haven't gained godly wisdom through the Spirit. So I pray that these words today with the Holy Spirit has encouraged you, and I thank you for listening.